Good afternoon. I'm Miguel Garcia, and I'm going to be going over my resiliency training plan that focuses around the Detroit Pistons in the NBA and talking about what we have seen from them in the past and where they could still go moving forward when it comes to resiliency. So, starting off with what resiliency is, this is your ability to be able to overcome obstacles in a variety of different ways, whether that's physical or mental, to be able to continue down your path and to achieve your ultimate goal of whatever that is. It is important to note that resiliency is a fluid trajectory and that there is no one size fits all for every situation. And there are multiple techniques that you can use for a variety of different reasons to be able to be successful in your training program. There's an old myth known in sports that either you have the clutch gene or you don't, whether you are able to perform in high stress situations or not. However, we have seen over the past couple of years, even athletes in my lifetime, that have been able to get over that hump. Probably the most famous one being LeBron James, after having a meltdown in his first stint with the Miami Heat, being able to come back and win multiple championships following that. So, why the NBA needs resiliency when it comes to their season is that they have a grueling 82 game season where when you have a sport like the NBA where there's lots of sprinting, cutting, you likely face a lot of injuries, which can lead to losing streaks and can cause a lot of bitterness and arguments between teammates. So having these resiliency techniques to be able to work things out and have effective communications between coaches and players will be critical on keeping the boat afloat throughout that long season. Why I focused on the Detroit Pistons and why I thought they were interesting was since roughly 2004, so over 20 years, they have been known as an underachieving organization and usually at the bottom of the NBA when it comes to their record. Even 2 years ago, they set the record for the longest losing streak in the NBA at roughly 24 games. And even at that point, their star player, Cade Cunningham, made a great remark during a press conference that the team, they understand, is not great. However, they're not that bad, and that they are well underway to becoming a great team. And just 2 seasons later, you now see that with Detroit Pistons being the number one team in the Eastern Conference for this regular season. However, they did have a poor performance in the postseason, and even after becoming very overachieving that season, now they face a new set of resiliency and problems that they need to go from being a bad franchise to now being an overachieving franchise and now needing to get over that hump again. So some of the techniques that I would like to implement for the Detroit Pistons, or I would, is using traditional attribution theory, where you're shifting your mindset and now you're talking and looking at things in a different perspective. Also looking at self-talk, being able to regulate your emotions and talk that out with your teammate and coaching staff, as well as looking at micro processes and not looking at it swinging for the fences, trying to win an NBA chip on the very next year, but slowly starting to get better every year and to keep that team intact. Again, the Detroit Pistons are a great organization, and it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with this new set of resiliency that they have come into after facing a completely different set just a couple of years ago. Thank you.